we've got two more examples to do on this one also. So we've got examples 5 and 6 on the back. So example 5 looks like this. Go ahead and write that down. I'll set it up with you, and then I'll give you a little bit of time to work on it on your own. So we're going to circle the F, draw the line of equality, and we're going to box the square, which includes the F, because the F is what's being squared. Now, I'm going to do the first step with you, because this one's a little tricky. What do we need to get rid of here? Yeah, we need to get rid of the squares on the 6 and the 4. Rather than trying to get rid of the squares, we're just going to simplify the squares. So to simplify 6 squared, what do we do? That's 36, right? That's 6 times 6. So we're going to rewrite that as 36. Equal signs going to stay on the line. Can I do the same thing with the F?
No.
No, we don't know what F is, so I can't simplify that. So that's just going to stay F squared. And then the plus 4 squared, the 4 squared can be written as 16. All right, go from there. All right, so we got to start by getting rid of the plus 16, right? We're going to do that by subtracting 16. So we subtract 16 on each side. The 16s on the right cancel each other out, and that leaves F squared. On the left side, 36 minus 16 is 20. Okay, now we need to get rid of what? The square. And how do we get rid of a square? Square root. So we take the square root on the right, which means we need to take the square root on the left. Now when we simplify, the square and the square root on the right side cancel, and that leaves what? F. Now here's the tricky part of this one. Is 20 a perfect square?
No.
No. Can we simplify the square root of 20? Yeah, we can. You guys remember this from last triad? We got to do a factor tree, right? So if we're going to simplify the square root of 20, I'm going to write this over to the side here. We're going to do a factor tree. 2 times 10, 2 times 5. Rewrite the square root of 20 as the square root of 2 times 2 times 5. And then what? Circle pairs. The pairs go on the outside. Anything that's not squared goes on the inside. So we get 2 square root of 5, and we take that and we write it in here. So the square root of 20 is 2 square root of 5. Now, got to do one more thing here. Remember, when we have an equation with a square in it, we're going to get how many answers? 2 answers. So the other answer, we're going to say, or F equals what? Negative 2 square root of 5. So just like when we did the square root of 100, we got positive 10 or negative 10. When we do the square root of 20, we get positive 2 square root of 5 or negative 2 square root of 5. Box your answer. All right, example 6. This one's really similar. I think you should be able to do it. We're going to start this just like we normally do with circle and variable and box in the square, draw your line of equality. Now, I do want to point out that to get g by itself, all we need to do is get rid of the square. But before we can get rid of that square, we need to simplify some things over here. So let's do that one at a time. First, let's simplify each of those 5 squareds. What is 5 squared? 25. So we get 25 for the first one, plus 25 for the second one, equal sign on the line, g squared still over here. All right, we can still simplify a little bit more over here. 25 plus 25 is 50. Equal sign on the line, and g squared over here still. Now, the only thing left to do is get rid of that square. How are we going to do that? Square root. So we take the square root on each side. On the left side, the square and the square root cancel each other out, and that leaves g. On the right side, is 50 a perfect square? No. So we're going to have to simplify that one also. So off to the side here, we're going to do a little scratch work. 50 is 5 times 10, and 10 is 2 times 5. So we rewrite it as the square root of 2 times 5 times 5. So what's going to end up on the outside? 5 square root of 2. Looks kind of sloppy, but you get the idea, right? So in our answer, then, we're going to put 5 square root of 2. But remember, we should get 2 answers for these problems with squares in them. So we're going to write or g equals negative 5 square root of 2. Again, make sure that you write your answers, both answers, as a full equation. G equals one number, G equals another number. For a problem like this, it's not a huge deal, but the ones where we get different answers, it is going to be.